With CM Punk spotted for the first time since the backstage brawl and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report for September 28th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. During a live stream, Ronda Rousey touched on the differences between fans of UFC and those of WWE, saying, "I would say that the WWE fans care more about the wrestlers than the UFC fans care more about the fighters. UFC fans have much less respect for the veterans and legends of the sport than WWE fans do. A lot of UFC fans are kind of like bandwagon fans in that way. The second you're not on top, you're dead to them. Where WWE fans are like, this is the guy that did this 20 years ago, and are still really excited, whereas UFC fans now are like, Forrest Griffin sucks. You owe basically the whole sport to him. Stuff like that. Anderson Silva sucks. GSP sucks. These are people that elevated the sport and paved the way for everybody else. I don't see UFC fans having the same respect for people that got the sport to where it is as WWE fans. I'm not saying it's completely absent. I'm just saying I see more respect for legends in WWE fans than UFC fans. There are exceptions to everything. Talking to NBC Sports Boston, Drew McIntyre mentioned which types of matches he does not like, as he said, Hell in a Cell matches. I have not had a good track record with them. I've had 2. I've lost 2. I've fallen off the side of the Hell in a Cell. We want to talk about not liking heights. I've been on top of a Hell in a Cell twice, and it is terrifying. Legitimately 20 feet high. You're scaling a cage to get up there. Technically, there's supposed to be little assist holes that help you climb your way up. When you're live on the air, you can't find those things. They're invisible. So I've literally scaled up that thing with my bare hands. Hating heights, falling off the side. Worst fall of my career against Randy Orton. Knocked me 10 feet off the side of a cell, which is 17 feet when you look back before you fall when you're as tall as I am. Yeah, I hate Hell in a Cell. So give me a street fight. Give me a weapons match. Keep me on the ground and let me swing a weapon at you. If you push me too far, I'll swing my sword at you. As Foxtel Group is Australia's #1 subscription TV service, Stephanie McMahon announced that WWE will be exclusively available there, saying, with its far-reaching and engaged audience, the Foxtel Group has been a trusted and long-standing partner of WWE for more than 20 years. We look forward to expanding our partnership with the Foxtel Group and welcoming Binge as the new streaming home of WWE Network in the region. Talking about Saraya's AEW debut during the Dynamite Grand Slam last week, Renee Paquette said on the sessions, "Man, what a great moment that was to have Saraya join AEW. What this means for the women's division. Is there a bigger star to step in that spot? We haven't seen her wrestle in years. And to now have this massive presence for somebody who just lives and breathes pro wrestling, I think she's going to make a huge difference for them. And I'm just so excited. It was such a cool moment. What a pop." With Hurricane Ian set to head through Florida this week, Natalya gave an update on her situation, writing on Twitter, "We are currently in the direct path of Hurricane Ian, but we are in a safe enough spot, not near the water, and have been preparing for the storm as much as we possibly can. We haven't been asked to evacuate, but we're taking the storm very seriously, hoping everyone stays safe." Talking about the changes that have come to WWE under the new regime of Stephanie McMahon, Nick Khan, and Triple H, Bayley said on the 5 count, "It's still so weird to me. When the news broke that Vince McMahon was retiring, I was just in shock, and it felt like we needed to. Do we party or sit around and sit in our feelings and feel weird? It was such a strange feeling. It's still talked about backstage how different things are. Not worse or better, just super different. Fortunately, for me, I've worked with Triple H for years since being in NXT. We have such a great relationship, and he understands what I've been through through, and where I want to go, and how I view my character and things like that. In that sense, it's been so awesome. I can see a shift. It's kind of like a new relationship, is how everybody feels. Everybody has a little extra spunk in them because it's different. I was talking to Finn Balor backstage, and Triple H just walked by and was like, "Hey guys, what's up?" We were like, isn't this so weird? Feels like 7 years ago again, especially with Finn, because he and I were champions at the same time in NXT, and Hunter was very hands-on, and having him there again feels like Twilight Zone. On the DDP Snake Pit podcast, WWE Hall of Famer Jake Roberts recalled a time when stars were mocking him backstage for his choice to be sober. "I can't say boys will be boys, because boys can be a-holes, and they were constantly putting things in my bag that shouldn't have been in there, taking chances with my damn well-being because they were putting drugs in my damn suitcase that I didn't know were there, and I'd find stuff in there. It was horrible. At some point, we went to Europe, and The Undertaker heard them getting on me pretty hot and heavy, calling me pussy, you used to be a man, this, that, and the other. The Undertaker used to sleep under the bus while we ran down the road, so he had the bus pull over, and he got up and cut a promo in my favor. He told him, guys, you don't want him to be the guy he used to be. He'll kill every one of you." With WWE previously pushing back the date in which their content will be removed from Hulu, they have apparently done so again. Regarding this, PW Insider said, the expiration date for all the WWE content on Hulu has been pushed back to this coming Friday. Obviously, discussions between the two sides are continuing. When asked about possibly founding his own wrestling company if he were to become a free agent, MJF told KFC Radio, "I do genuinely think that I'm a prodigy, and I say that humbly. And then there is probably no one in the wrestling world that knows more and has a better wrestling IQ than me. Of course, I thought about it. If there was financial backing, if someone said, hey MJF, you'll be the face of my company and you make the decisions, you make the calls, you decide who gets to go in the ring and doesn't go in the ring. The most important thing to me is money, and if I can make an absurd amount of money without having to be stressed out of my effing mind, the only person you should be worried about is yourself. I never want to have Tony Khan's job. I never want to have Triple H's job. The amount of BS you have to go through, the only thing I want to worry about is me. If that means I get a difference in pay, but I'm getting paid just to be me and show up to work once a week, come on." Speaking of MJF, his most recent t-shirt for sale caused a fan to write, "AW and Tony Khan really love to offend Christians. I wonder if someone facing MJF wore a swastika on a shirt if that would be fine. Or a shirt mocking Muhammad directed at Tony. I expect AW fans not to care, because they're obsessed with pretending to be ECW. Then a swastika shirt is fine, no limits." MJF would then write back, "Do it, wear it to the next show." With an update on WWE's new designs for some of their championship belts, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful said, "Those that we've spoken to claim that there are at least 3 new sets of title belts that are finished and currently in hand by WWE. Belt fan Dan highlighted a couple of those as new tag belts. Dan noted they're the existing design with a black strap, dual plates, and a big WWE logo in the middle of them. He also stated there are old, never used tag team titles, which look like the women's tag titles on colored straps." WWE sources also indicate that other design alterations have been mentioned, though we didn't get much elaboration on that. Several WWE talent we've spoken to of late have said they've been in favor of some changes to title belts personally. We've asked about Velcro versus snaps, and several of the talent said that the Velcro helps them when they need to attach the belt quickly, but cosmetically, it looks bad. Those that we've spoken to said there were already plans in motion to utilize some new designs before the huge WWE regime change. However, Triple H hasn't exactly been shy about changing things, and we're told that has largely accelerated some things. We've heard that additional cosmetic changes to things across Raw, SmackDown, and NXT could also be on the horizon. We've already seen logo changes on NXT. Speaking about a dream genre of movie types to have a role in, Sasha Banks told the New York Post, "I just finished watching the Squid Games and I'm a huge fan of Korean movies. So I would love to be in a show like that, just that thriller, drama, really intense show where you really don't know what's going to happen. And to be in a Korean movie, that's always been one of my dreams. I'd love to be in a movie one day. It could be any genre. I'm just excited to learn and do it all. I have so much time." Formerly known as Fandango in WWE, Dirty Dango talked on Renee Dupree's podcast about his upcoming plans. I'm starting with a company soon, I think in the next couple weeks, that I can't really talk about, but it should be on TV. I mean, it will be on TV. He also had this to say about his feud with Chris Jericho and why Jericho did not want to face him. Maybe Vince just doesn't know because he's probably still discussing it with Chris. I feel like there was a little tension there. I think Chris was supposed to work Ryback or somebody else, and then maybe a month or a month and a half out, Vince kind of threw the Fandango thing at him, so I can see where he was a little irked with the whole angle. With Chris Jericho winning the Ring of Honor title, many have speculated this was done as a part of appealing to networks for a TV deal. Talking about Tony Khan's purchase of the company, Brian Alvarez noted on Wrestling Observer Live, Tony Khan didn't have plans for Ring of Honor. WWE wanted it, and I'm sure that other people wanted it. He didn't have time to draw up business plans, so the opportunity arose and he bought it. With him not having been seen since his reported backstage brawl between the Elite, former AEW champion CM Punk was photographed with a fan as he is wearing a brace on his arm following his apparent surgery after being injured during his title bout at All Out. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.